So, no surprise to you, we spoke with a number of Republicans who've known you for a long time, and they, I don't want to use the word hate, but
Yeah,
there's a lot of venom
yeah,
toward you on behalf of some, Republican operatives in this
sure,
state. They feel like they got you, they helped get you to where you are.
right.
Name recognition, they cleared the decks for you in the assembly, according to them, and you turned on them.
Well, I would say first off, carrying that much hate is not healthy, and it just can't be healthy. But the second thing is those same group of folks were the ones who painted me as the worst Republican. Go back and look at the scorecards. There were so many stories done on this where I was the worst Republican. There was one that came out I was worse than a Democrat. I was worse than Luke Ray. I have these whole collections of rhinoceroses. My kids play with them. They were Republican in name only. And so the same group of folks that savagely attacked me for years and militantly lined up behind Carl DeMaio in the last race are now trying to reinvent history and act like, well, none of that ever happened. Oh, we loved him the whole time and we thought he was great, but that's just not true. And they can say those things. And I think what you get, and the record will support me on this. And so I think what you get with them is a recognition that they have driven a political party into the ground. That they have by their obsession with the war on women and taking away women's right to choose, by the severe hostility we see towards our immigrant communities and folks who come here and work hard, by a defense of a system that has eroded and destroyed the middle class, by a lack of any commitment to our environment. They have systematically destroyed a political party in California. And I think that there's anger and frustration over what they've done, and I become the target of a lot of that. But at the end of the day, I can't get distracted by what pure partisans who never liked me or welcomed me into their party think. I've got to do what I think is right and what I think is best.
Jason Rose, one of them, and he said that he thought you were friends. He considered you a friend and no longer does, and really has taken your leaving the party to heart personally.
Yeah.
And even, he even talked about the adoption of his son. So when you hear that from somebody, would you have considered him a friend?
Well, that makes me sad. I mean, that makes you sad. No one wants to have someone say that they don't like you. But again, this is someone who was the campaign consultant for Carl DeMaio. I mean,
And now for Kevin
he and
Faulkner.
now for Kevin Faulkner. And so I just don't think that we're talking about objective, fair-minded folks here. I think we're talking about someone who is very stridently conservative and brings a very partisan Republican advantage. Of course they're going to get upset. I left the party. Just like there's a lot of Democrats that probably embrace me, overly so, and don't know me as well. And so a lot of these are folks that I was never really personally close with or spent much time with. But I knew through acquaintances, and I'm sorry if they feel disappointed or upset. But for so many years, I said, "You're not one of us. You don't belong." And I finally just said, "Hey, you're right."